A large percentage of our customers want to use e-commerce as either their exclusive go-to-market approach or as a significant part of that. So let's walk through how an e-commerce platform like a Stripe, Chargebee, and so forth would integrate with the Zentitle environment. So here you would have your typical storefront that is powered by whatever e-commerce provider you have. And very often there you'll have various editions of your product available for sale, perhaps in monthly subscription models, annual subscription, and so forth. And you'll typically have a good, better, best set of offerings where the customer can choose what is the right price point based on the specific set of capabilities that they want to have access to. So in this case, let's assume we're going to be processing an order for the better, the middle tier edition of that various product. So that within Zentitle is mapped into what we call an offering. So we would have an offering, say, better 1-year subscription. And that mapping allows you to say, okay, let's define the underlying set of features that are controlled by the customer choosing one or one of the other editions. And so that could be individual features that are turned off. It could be values for various capacity limits, some metric within your application that you want to limit. Could be number of users, could be a number of devices, channels, whatever makes sense. So again, we're assuming that we're going to be processing an order around that better edition. So as the e-commerce triggers the purchased event, typically firing off a webhook or something of that nature, it will then trigger an event handler that will then say, okay, we're now going to create an entitlement for that specific customer against that offering, that SKU, that definition of the edition. So it will initially set the set of rights for that customer based on the pattern that is included in the definition of that offering. So there you'll get a customer-specific entitlement that inherits the initial set of capabilities against that offering. So once that's created in the Zentitle system, you can then automatically send out the set of credentials to that end customer that just made that purchase. So part of that could be an email address, or if you're using an identity or account-based licensing model, could be a license key if you're using a license key-based model, and so forth. So the end customer would get that set of credentials, and that would allow them to run the application and activate using our licensing API against that same entitlement. Right? So that is the flow. Once that entitlement is also there, you can then provide a view into that, again, back to that end customer, or perhaps procurement within the end customer, so that they can see the current status of that license. Has it been activated? When does it expire? How many seats are in use? What is the usage over time? And then, of course, you also have full access to all of these capabilities from the straight Zentitle UI, which can be used by support and renewals and such to really understand where is the customer in their journey with regards to using that application, how heavily are they using it, all the information that they may want to take into account, either from handling support, handling a renewal, and so forth. So that's the way you would integrate e-commerce, Stripe, FastSpring, Zora, everything under the sun. An easy way of mapping good, better, best type editions onto an underlying set of editions and definitions of how that would generate the specific entitlement. Easy way of generating the entitlement, easy way of getting credentials out, easy way of activating, and then being able to manage that throughout the entire life cycle.